Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where Edutainment explains it. It's the weekend. Saturday's here. Saturday's here. Up late. Had to get my sleep in. Anyway, I wanted to share a concept with you because a lot of times, on my lives and in some of my videos, I talk about concepts and ideas and stuff. And I had an idea actually that inspired an idea. And this is just, actually just stuff I don't mind sharing. So let's do it like that. But where am I at with this? I'll go ahead and get into depth with it. But first, let's do what we need to do so we can do what we want to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page. So the window material comes out, you get it. If you're digging with a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, please. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Why? Because edutainment is what I do over here. And I was presented with the concept of today, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a series of novels that came out in 1999. It ran from 2007. It was essentially characters from 19th century literature kind of coming together as a super group, more or less. And you had Mina Murray, who had like the vampire powers, Mina Harker Murray. Yeah, her. Then you had Captain Nemo with the gadgets and the submarine. Alan Quartermain, which I guess was sort of the leadership. Jekyll and Hyde for the muscle. And I'm going to go ahead and assume, what's his name? Holly Griffin as is the Invisible Man, which would obviously be the Stealth. Then we had that wonderful movie come out in 2003, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, with Sean Connery heading up a cast that added Dorian Gray. But we essentially had that core four or five in the movie. It wasn't met with rave reviews, you know what I'm saying? But it had a concept. And speaking of concepts, I think April Fool's Day 2010, this image leaked out. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, 1988. Wow. Okay. And who's in that league? That looks like Lisa from Weird Science, which was actually 85. MacGyver. He was hot around that time period. Doc Brown, of course, Back to the Future. B.A. Baracus from the A-Team, popular in the 80s. And, of course, Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. And in the background, we see the 70s League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So that got me to thinking, every decade or so, we get a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So I said, bump it. Why don't I just go ahead and throw my hat into the game and see what can I come up with. So this might not be a great League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but they were hot around the time in the late 90s. And I'll even give you a protagonist for them. Of course, who do I have in my League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I'm kicking it off with Fox Mulder and Dana Scully from the X-Files, because they was ready to believe they had access to equipment to deal with what was being believed in and have pretty good heads on their shoulders, when they're thinking in their respective fields. So I feel like they could be on my League, Extraordinary Gentlemen. And now I'm finna flip it on y'all and go, loud boom. I'm putting Mighty Joe Young in my league, Extraordinary Gentlemen. Remember, Mighty Joe Young came out in 1998, baby. Check it out for yourself. But anyways, Mighty Joe Young was a 15-foot mountain gorilla. That's pretty much all I need to say. Also, on top of that, if a 6-foot mountain gorilla can break a man in half, 15-foot gorilla, you do the math. Now, why do we have this 15-foot gorilla? Hang on now. Remember that 15-foot gorilla also, his best friend was Charlize Theron when she was looking like that. So there's another reason to have Mighty Joe Young in the league of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And so now Dana Scully ain't the only woman in this sausage fest. And let's put some more men in there to chop it up with everybody who's there currently. And I picked these two guys right here, Carter and Lee from Rush Hour, which was also popular in 1998. Now, while they're kind of clownish and mess up sometimes, yeah, you might need that. But when it comes down to it, you can count on Carter and Lee. Period. When it's time, I mean, when it's serious, when the fat's in the fire and you need, they're there. You know what I mean? And that's why there were 3 Rush Hours, because the chemistry between them two characters worked. And I think the dynamic of adding them into this group that we already got should work well. It would also be funny to see Carter's reaction to a 15-foot mountain gorilla. It will also be interesting to see Carter's reaction to the last guy in this particular league, Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yep, the Daywalker himself, Blade. That's who I'm using to round out my league, Extraordinary Gentlemen 1998 series. And that's what they look like, y'all, when you put them together. So who we going to put this league of Extraordinary Gentlemen 1998 up against? I'm so glad y'all said that, because I got the perfect foe. Edgar the Bug from Men in Black. Now hold on. What are y'all? I know exactly what you're saying, but I'm thinking too. He was real easy to find. But what if he wasn't? What if Edgar was able to insinuate himself into a less obvious looking outside? You get what I'm saying? What would it have been like if Edgar blended in? And it was able to let those little baby Edgars incubate and grow a little more. Then we would have more of a problem. So that's where these guys come in figuring out the conspiracy and figuring out what's real and what's ain't, and in lieu of a Men in Black. So I feel like that would have made a great movie. That would have made a great series of movies, or even a TV show or something like that. I don't know about Sticky Fingers as Blade, but anyway, that was where my head was at, and that's what I came up with. LXG 1998. What did y'all think about it? Is that something that might possibly pop off? Or, I'm just doing it to show I got concepts, I got ideas, and that was with a little bit of effort. Let me go deep. If you feeling what I'm smelling, if you digging what I'm shoveling, let a brother know, and I give you a whole a whole lot more. Because what my man Clubber Lang say in Rocky 3, I got a lot of mo. I got a lot of mo. But look here, y'all. That's it for now. Well, Fred not, I will be coming at you with another one of the other ones. And until I do, y'all be good and be good to each other.